Hey guys, this is the Iron Pangolin, or 穿山铁甲 in Chinese. It is the CNC full metal version of the Pangolin, or 穿山甲. Both versions are by Diamond Dogs. The Pangolin is a bolt-action Nerf blaster which was released more than a year ago. It has a mixture of 3D printed shells and parts, and metal internals. Shortly after the Pangolin's release, the CNC full metal versions called the Iron Pangolin was also introduced. The Iron Pangolins come in several colors: blue, red, purple, pink and green. It is also under the Diamond Dogs Heirloom series, which makes it kind of like a high-value collectible. These Pangolins and Iron Pangolins have been circulating in China for more than a year. It is only recently that a good friend of mine, who has requested to be anonymous, managed to get his hands on this emerald green Iron Pangolin and kindly lent it to me for review. This Iron Pangolin is absolutely the most beautiful full metal Springer blaster I have ever seen. Here is his current setup. Removing most of the accessories first before we get to the review. Leaving the front bottom M-lock to Picatinny rail and M-lock hand stop alone, as they are usually a pain to reattach. Let's start from tip to butt. The Iron Pangolin comes with a 60cm aluminium threaded barrel with 30mm inner diameter. It is threaded at both ends. One end for attaching the Diamond Dogs default screw-on 12 bearings 8° BCAR, and the other end for attaching the barrel to the blaster. It has this 3D printed plastic piece to center and support the barrel within the front shroud, which can be screwed securely onto the barrel if you want. The handguard has a Picatinny rail at the top and M-lock slots at the sides and bottom. It has the Pangolin logo, Diamond Dogs Heirloom, and Iron Pangolin wordings lasered onto the metal surface, which gives the blaster a premium look and feel. The mag release lever, mag well, trigger guard and trigger are all metal. The grip feels like plastic, but it is nicely textured. The bottom pommel is metal. The Iron Pangolin uses this type of 10-round translucent black magazine from Worker. This mag is huge compared to the usual Talon magazines. It makes the Iron Pangolin look like a menacing and powerful high-caliber sniper-type blaster, like a Barrett sniper rifle that fires the 50 BMG. Of course, this blaster fires the usual 36mm half darts, which we can clearly see from the see-through magazine. If you are doing some sort of new scene during gameplay, the magazine will look better if it is wrapped with tape to hide the short darts inside. Yes, you must be thinking, can this Iron Pangolin fire full-length darts? Yes, it can. But we will not be testing full-length darts with this blaster, as there is no reason to. Half-length darts have proven long ago to be better than full-length darts in terms of accuracy and FPS in Springers. Also, I do not have any full-length darts and magazines to try. However, it is interesting to know that the Iron Pangolin is capable of using full-length darts too. For cosplay purposes, this blaster will look great with full-length darts picking through the translucent full-length dart magazine to simulate high-caliber rounds. I believe Diamond Dogs also has compatible 3D printed full black magazines to hide the length of the darts, and they have a small window cut out to show only parts of the vertical column of foam darts. The internal mechanism, such as the plunger tube, rod, pusher, and the bolt are all metal. The Diamond Dogs logo and wordings on the plunger tube, and the Iron Pangolin wordings nearest to the buttstock are also lasered. It has a Picatinny rail at the bottom, and a rubber padding piece which is screwed onto the back of the buttstock. The spring is swappable by taking out 2 screws at the top and 1 screw at the side. This Iron Pangolin already has the factory heavy 2.0 spring installed inside, which is capable of 300 FPS out of the box. It also comes with 2 weaker springs which I believe hits about 180 FPS and 240 FPS respectively. We do have a 2.3mm upgrade spring coming from a third party, which we will test again in a future video if it works. But for this review, we will only test the heaviest 2.0 spring from the factory. With the 2.0 spring, the bolt action is very smooth. It feels similar to that of the Kunlun in terms of the actual movement and the amount of strength needed to pull the bolt back. However, it is advisable to wear gloves while priming to prevent abrasion from the bolt handles knurling. It also gives off this very unique metallic clinking sound during priming when the rod catches. This is the first time I have heard this kind of sound. I have never heard it from any other type of blasters before, even from other full metal Springer blasters. I really love how it sounds. Let's play this metal on metal bolt action priming sound a few more times. #ASMR. There are anti-friction tapes at the contact points between the plunger system and the shell to reduce friction and prevent scratches from the priming action. A small piece of the tape did fly out during testing, and I will probably add some lubricant to it afterwards to reduce the friction further. The Iron Pangolin weighs around 2.4 kilograms with just the default BCAR. It is heavy but surprisingly well balanced. It measures about 113 centimeters, which is just a little bit longer than the Kunlun. Here's a side-by-side comparison. In terms of aesthetics, I feel the full metal Iron Pangolin absolutely beats the Kunlun hands down. Let's get some chronograph numbers and see what this blaster is capable of. Here are the chronograph results without any BCAR. The average FPS is 305.4 and the standard deviation is 3.95 with 1 gram regular worker darts. The average FPS is 285.3 and standard deviation is 6.49 with 1.3 gram Sabre TDARTs. Let's compare these numbers with the Kunlun's data from my previous testing videos. In terms of FPS performance out of the box, the Iron Pangolin outperformed the Kunlun by about 10 FPS for both dart types. Let's move on to the grouping test conducted outdoors with a figure 11 target at 30 meters. There is moderate wind and humidity is high. The LPVO is roughly 0 to hit a human-sized target at 30 meters. I am testing the Iron Pangolin with its default Diamond Dogs threaded BCAR with 12 bearings at 8° twist rate. For info, this default BCAR is meant for lower FPS setups, and it's not meant for 300 FPS. Brand new 1.3 gram TDARTs are used. Here is the grouping test results with 1.3 gram Sabre darts. The grouping with the default Diamond Dogs threaded BCAR with 12 bearings at 8° twist rate is surprisingly okay, even though it is not meant for high FPS setups. I did try to test the blaster with BCARs that are meant for such high FPS setups like the GFZ EX-Metal BCAR 5-row 8° and the AccuBlue BCAR. But both BCARs did not work well and darts were flying all over the place. I think it is because the end of the default barrel is threaded and meant for use with its threaded default BCAR. Should you get this blaster? First of all, the Iron Pangolin is definitely the best looking CNC full metal Springer blaster I've ever used. The emerald green metallic color is really beautiful, the overall appearance of the blaster is really cool, and the cold metal body feels really awesome in the hands. It will look great as a wall display. Maximum points for aesthetics. It is also a very powerful blaster and even performs better than the Kunlun out of the box in terms of FPS. As mentioned earlier, we have a third-party 2.3mm spring coming and we'll test it to see if it works and its performance. It definitely has a lot of potential if you swap out the default barrel with another barrel that's threaded only on one side. And also swap out the default Diamond Dogs BCAR with a better BCAR like the GFZ EX-Metal one. In terms of weight and maneuverability, the full metal Iron Pangolin is considered heavy and long compared to other Springer blasters with similar FPS, and is definitely not suitable for competitive play. If we attach an LPVO and a bipod, it gets even heavier and may not be suitable for normal gameplay if the player is unable to handle its overall weight. I feel the weight of the Iron Pangolin is still okay for normal gameplay if you only attach a mini red dot sight to it. No other accessories. There is also a chance that the blaster will be bumped or scratched by obstacles or even dropped during gameplay. If you wish to maintain the Iron Pangolin's beautiful and pristine condition, it is best to leave it on the display wall. Comparatively, the Kunlun, being injection molded plastic with metal internals, is much lighter and more practical for gameplay than the Iron Pangolin. So I feel the Iron Pangolin is best suited for long range blinking. The silhouette also resembles real steel and it may not be very suitable for public gameplay, depending on which country you're from. Also, the Iron Pangolin comes at a hefty price tag of about 900 plus Singapore dollars. It is truly a beautifully made, high performance CNC full metal blaster after all, so I feel that it is worth it if you are buying it as a collectible wall display. As mentioned earlier, the Iron Pangolin is classified under the Heirloom series by Diamond Dogs. However, comparing it to the recent release of the Worker Full Metal Kunlun at about 1,200 Singapore dollars at where I am, the Iron Pangolin is about 300 Singapore dollars cheaper, looks better and performs better too. The Iron Pangolin is definitely more worth it than the Full Metal Kunlun. If you have a budget for only one high performance CNC full metal bolt action Nerf sniper collectible blaster with that lovely priming sound, then the Iron Pangolin is for you. What do you think of this Iron Pangolin? Leave your comments below, like and subscribe if you found this video helpful. Thank you and see you.